Hi quilters, it's Pam from AccuQuilt. So here at AccuQuilt we have the fall medley die, and it has pumpkins and acorns and leaves. Then we have the holiday medley die that has snowflakes and holly and trees. So let me introduce you to the new spring medley die. So our new spring medley die has chicks and baskets. It cuts out the section so you have the handle on that basket. It has eggs and little bunnies. So this is one of our brand new applique dies, which is so fun. So it comes with a free pattern, which is right here, the sample, and it's just our spring medley table runner. So we've used our die, and then the outer edge for the border, we've just used our 8-inch cube. You could use whatever size cube you have, but we used our 8-inch cube, which is part of the Ready, Set, Go system. So let's talk about this die. So first of all, it shows you where the two-tone foam, that's where the blades are inside. You're gonna get thousands of cuts out of this particular die. Now, normally I would tell you that you could run 6 layers of cotton fabric through in one pass, and you still can, but we're gonna tell you to pre-fuse your fabric so that when you're ready to take off the pieces, you can just iron them down onto your project. So if you have your pre-fused fabric, you have to count that fusible as a half a layer. So I'm gonna tell you to just do 3 or 4 layers of cotton. Oh, but think about this, quilters. Think about all the different kinds of fabrics you could use. For example, if you're going to use the basket, maybe you want to make that basket out of cork or flannel or felt. Oh, but here's what I thought of this morning. I think we should make chicks out of minky. Wouldn't that be so fun? So if you're using some of those thicker fabrics like minky or flannel or felt or wool, I'm going to tell you to start with just 1 or 2 of those layers to begin with, all right? Also, just because we're AccuQuilt and we think this is such a fun project, we also included a free embroidery download. So you'll get that free embroidery download for all 4 of our shapes, 3 different stitches, a satin stitch, a motif stitch, and a blanket stitch. So really fun. You don't have to have an embroidery machine to use our dies, but if you do, you have that free embroidery download. So let me show you how easy it is to cut shapes. So I'm going to cut some of our bunny shapes. Now, because I have fusible in the back, I don't have to worry about that lengthwise grain. So I'm going to just take my fabric right here, and I'm just going to barely cover my bunny shape. Now, if I wanted to, I could fold this. Oh, let's do that. I think I'm going to fold it in half. So you can either have your bunnies facing all one direction, in which case you would put your fabric down all facing the same direction. But if you fan fold it over like this, your bunnies are going to face different directions. Now, because it's an applique die and I don't want to use all of the applique shapes on it, I'm just going to use my 6x6 cutting mat. So look how slick that is. Now I'm going to come here to my Go fabric cutter. You could use, because it's a 6x12 die, your Go Big fabric cutter and even your Go Baby. Gonna give it some love, otherwise the pieces kind of fly everywhere. And then I'm gonna slide that mat off, look at that. And now you can see, look at these cute bunnies. Look how fun that is. So in a few minutes, we're gonna come back and show you how we're gonna embroider those bunnies using the new embroidery download. But for right now, let's talk about the rest of our project. So you can see I've already cut out the chicks and the basket and the eggs. So I want to work on this border. Now, if you look at it, you think, oh my goodness, that looks a little complicated. Maybe it's flying geese. Actually, we just used die number 5 in our cube. So it's just half square triangles. So I'm going to tell you to cut all the pieces first. That way, when you sew the project together, all the pieces are ready and it's going to go together so much faster. So I'm going to make this particular unit. So basically what I've done is I've taken half square triangles and sewn them together. Now typically quilters, we press to the dark side because we're quilters, but this is such a small project that if you did that, you're going to get lots of bulk. So I'm going to tell you to press your seams open. So keep that in mind. So quilters, I'm going to tell you to lay out all your pieces first so that when you go to sew them together, it's going to go together so much easier. 90% faster to cut them out. If you have all your pieces done, it's going to go even faster. All right, so I'm going to take my 2 half square triangles. Now this is a free downloadable pattern, and we've used the 8-inch cube because that's part of the Ready, Set, Go, but you could use any size cube that you want, whichever one you have at home. All right, so I'm going to come right here to the edge, and you want to make sure that you're having a good 1/4 inch seam here, quilters. All right, and then I'm going to press open my seam so it just lays flat. I'm going to give it a little press here. Now quilters, once I get this particular section done, this unit done, I'm going to make a big long chain of them. I'm going to follow the pattern and make the chain. All right, so see, I've made another unit. So once I've done this unit, quilters, I'm going to continue to make the unit. When I get here to the end, I just need those squares. So that's shape number 2 from your cube. So those are the only 2 dies that I'm going to use from the cube to make this particular project. So look how fast and easy that would be to do. Now quilters, think about this. Think about, you could change it up for spring or for Easter. You could use some of our new lowercase letters to personalize your table runner, whichever one you want to do. And just always remember that with AccuQuilt, it's so incredibly fast and easy. So every time you cut out those bunny shapes, it's going to be perfect every time. So where can you get your new spring medley die? You can get it at AccuQuilt.com or from your local signature retailer. Remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time so you can quilt more.